Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Not possible, everybody. Welcome everybody to the channel. Today we're gonna be talking about collecting Pokemon in 2025. If you are getting into the Pokemon hobby or in Pokemon collecting in 2025, let me tell you, you came in at the worst time possible. But not to worry, as this too shall pass. Things cannot just keep going up in price forever, and there cannot just not be stock anywhere, any Pokemon product anywhere forever. Eventually this shall pass and everything will be going back to normal. But until then, let's talk about how should you invest or how should you collect Pokemon in 2025. First thing you need to know in collecting Pokemon in 2025 is, what kind of collector do I want to be? Because let me tell you, first thing we got to get out the way is that this hobby is pricey. This hobby is very expensive, whether you're collecting singles or sealed products or slabs or PSA slabs. Everything in this hobby can get expensive, just like any other hobbies that can be expensive. But you compare the Pokemon TCG compared to like Yu-Gi-Oh or baseball cards or even like Digimon cards that are still around. Actually, this takes the cake of how expensive Pokemon product can actually be. That is one thing to definitely note when you're getting into the Pokemon TCG hobby. Secondly, what kind of collector do you want to be? Very important thing to know. Do you want to be a vintage collector? Do you want to collect master sets? Do you want to collect SIRs? Do you want to collect cute Pokemon? Do you want to collect fire Pokemon? Do you want to collect one type of Pokemon? Do you want to be an investor, bro? Do you want to collect sealed product? When I tell you it is simply impossible to collect them all, impossible to collect them all. If you guys don't know, they are pushing out set after new set after new set, basically every quarter or every other quarter of the year. So simply, if you even wanted to collect the Scarlet and Violet era of Pokemon cards, that's going to run you a pretty penny, especially nowadays with the Pokemon boom in 2025. I myself, for example, am more of a sealed collector and collecting my favorite artwork Pokemon. I do consider myself in two different alleys. As one, I collect sealed product because those are things that I would like to open up with my son when he gets older, around the 18-19-year-old age, as he's only 5 for now. So I have plenty of time to collect sealed product to maybe one day, hopefully, open those products up with him, which would be something amazing, and maybe even open up on this channel 10 years, 15 years from now. Of course, it's also nice to see those sealed products appreciate in price. The second thing is I am more into the artworks and styles of Pokemon. I will buy a $1 Pokemon card or a $50 Pokemon card. For me, it doesn't matter as long as the artwork is beautiful and I simply enjoy the card for what it is. I collect various types of Pokemon cards, various types of SIRs, SARs, illustration rares, even basic Pokemon. As long as I like the artwork in the background, I'm definitely getting that card. So very important thing to know when you get into this hobby, what kind of Pokemon collector do you want to be? Because nothing is worse than buying all these different kind of Pokemon cards, products, and sealed products, and even open products, just for you to finally figure out that you only like these kind of cards or these kind of set. And you're basically throwing your money away on other cards that might have some value in them, but you absolutely don't like at all. And all you did it for just to hoard Pokemon cards. See, for me, one of my personal favorites are the Delta Species cards. And the Delta Species cards are cards that came out around the 2005-2006 era or year. And a lot of these Pokemon cards range from like $1 all the way to the thousands of dollars. But however, I just love the fact that they're Delta cards, they're special. It's Pokemon cards with a different style, different typing, very unique, very special, and I absolutely love collecting Delta Species cards. Another thing to note when you start collecting Pokemon cards is where you're going to keep them, where you're going to store them. You might start off pretty small and just simply in a corner in your closet, But as your collection grows, you're going to start figuring out, man, I need some binders. I need some top loaders. I need some penny sleeves. These are all very important things, especially when you start opening packs, when you start collecting bulk, when you start accumulating all these Pokemon cards. You definitely need to figure out, am I going to empty out a closet for this? Am I going to get a storage unit? What am I going to do with all of these Pokemon cards? Now, like I said, there are people who like to collect master sets. So you'll see them open packs and packs and packs of a certain set because they're trying to master a set. Or you can be more like me that just like collect their favorite Pokemon cards, which in that case, I suggest instead of buying packs, it's always fun to open packs. Don't get me wrong. I love opening packs. But in today's age, opening packs can be very expensive, especially if you can't even find them and they're double or triple the price on the secondary market. So what I like to do is if I like a Pokemon card from a certain set, I'll just buy it. I'll just straight up buy it. Instead of opening hundreds and thousands of dollars of Pokemon cards just to get that one single card, just go out on the secondary market and buy it. It'll be so much easier. And if you guys don't know where to buy your Pokemon cards, there are a variety of different places. There's like places like eBay, which I would be careful and make sure they're a reliable source and make sure they have some good reviews if you're buying off eBay. There's places like Mercari. There's places like the TCG app where you can actually buy Pokemon cards. You could always go to your local shop, which is where I buy the majority of my cards, is local shop and the Facebook Marketplace. But even the Facebook Marketplace, I would absolutely be careful and make sure you are verifying these people before you meet up in person. I would hate for something to happen to you over some Pokemon cards. When you start collecting Pokemon cards, one of the most important things is to have a goal in mind. And what I mean by goal in mind is what purpose are you doing it for? I did mention earlier, I collect sealed product for my son and I collect singles for myself as part of my favorite collection of Pokemon cards. What is your goal? If you are an investor type, bro, and you like to collect Pokemon cards to one day get a return on these Pokemon cards, it's very important that you figure out which are the hot sets, which are the cheap sets, which Pokemon cards do you see booming in the future? I'm not too into that, but I do know all about it. And yeah, if you are the type of person who wants to collect Pokemon cards to later on get some monetary value out of them, make sure you are doing your homework on what's hot and what's not. Trends come and go. Certain Pokemon cards come and go. Popularity of certain Pokemon come and go. So it's very important to stick to like the basic main Pokemon cards if you're trying to get monetary value. That includes like your Charizards, your Greninjas, your Pikachus, your Snorlaxes, your Celebes, your Entei, Raikou, Suicune, all of these big, major, outstanding Pokemon cards that people who are not even into the hobby know about this. Make sure you are collecting those cards because later on they could be worth something. Now, if you're not into the monetary value, like I said, what is your goal? Is your goal just to collect a bunch of SIRs? Is your goal to collect a bunch of IRs, a bunch of your cute pink Pokemon, a lot of your fire type Pokemon, water type Pokemon, whatever it is, just remember it's an expensive hobby, and just once you have your collection built up, though, it's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing to show off to your friends, your family, other people that you meet that are in this hobby, and just showing off your collection. Or even like myself, that nobody in my immediate family or friends like Pokemon except me. I don't care. I sometimes just sit there and I look through my collection and just like, man, like this is nice. This is very impressive. Well, you guys, I really hope this video helped out. And just, just a couple of words of advice, nothing big. If you're new to the channel, I will appreciate if you like, share, subscribe. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the next one.